The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Tuesday morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson is in charge of things this morning. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. We do the show from the Jared Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jared-construction.com. License number WV030133. Phone calls to the show. Service of Guarantee Bank. 1320 Canal Boulevard in Charleston. Guarantee Bank, your community, your bank, your story. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Tailor. Virginia Street. The end of Bolt sale continues through the 29th. Save up to 50% on select jackets and suits. And Tony's Black Label will make custom garments with a variety of different fabrics. Tony also has custom shirts from actual tailors. Buy three, get one free, or buy four and get two free, including Thomas Mason Fabrics, and ask them out there. Samuelson end of Bolt sale too. Take as much as 25 to 30% off. Visit bestmastertailor.com or Tony's Facebook page for more information. Tuesday edition of the show. The big story, of course, is the weather. Metro News meteorologist Bryan Hughes is going to join us later in the show. In the short term, the heat and humidity continue today. It looks like today, at least for our immediate area, most of the severe weather going to be late afternoon, early evening for us. High winds, heavy rain, lightning, even isolated tornadoes possible. Then tomorrow we should calm down. Again, Brian's going to join us later in the show. In the meantime, you can follow him on social media and by downloading the Metro News television app. Coming up later today, they are going to try to play some baseball tonight at Gomart Ballpark as the Dirty Birds open homestand against the Ghost Peppers of Gastonia. Birds GM and the GM Ben Blum and the Toastman Rod Blackstone will join us to talk about it. Plus, some more things in the news, some news breaking yesterday in the John Lucas case here in Kanawha County, and also a lot of news out of City Council last night. We'll get to all those stories. Plus your calls and texts. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. Welcome to the show now, our State Attorney General J.B. McCuskey. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
David, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm great. I got home late last night. I had some meetings in Martinsburg, which were great, and we're doing good.
How were things in Martinsburg?
Things in Martinsburg were awesome. I was with a bunch of guys who work for the large gun manufacturers who were having their sort of annual meetings with the ATF, and we talked a lot about, how and why the places where they're currently doing their thing might not be the best, and maybe some ways to get some of those folks to move some of their operations here to West Virginia, and some of the big wins our office has had in the Second Amendment.
I don't think I've had you on the local show, JB, since the Supreme Court decision, West Virginia versus BPJ, upholding West Virginia's Save Women's Sports Act. So talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, so I think that was 3 weeks ago now, wasn't it, Dave?
Yeah, I believe so.
Seems like forever. But, we talked a lot about how, West Virginia passed the Save Women's Sports Act because we believed that, or our legislature believed, that we should have specific spaces based on sex and gender. And the entire idea of this bill, and it's a simple bill, said that if you are a biological male, you need to play sports against other biological males because there are immutable physical characteristics that give biological males an advantage over biological females. And so that case, we've been defending that case. We got sued by the ACLU and a few other large, sort of national well-funded law groups, and they sued to overturn our law. And so that case, as we defended it through the district court, and then the state lost at the Fourth Circuit, and the Fourth Circuit enjoined our law, saying that we couldn't enforce it. So that case ended up at the U.S. Supreme Court, and my team of lawyers and I defended our case there, and all 9 of the justices, a unanimous decision, said that our law did not violate Title IX, which was one of the arguments from the ACLU. And 6 of the 9 justices agreed that our law does not violate the Equal Protection Clause. And so essentially, if there's 18 votes, our law got 15 of the 18 votes, which is really pretty remarkable. And so this is a huge win for women's sports. It's a huge win for the women and girls in this state and across the country, so that other states now can feel confident and boldly make these laws that really protect the women and girls who are getting up every single morning and working their rear ends off to play what are very, very competitive sports, and sports that result in scholarships and NIL deals and potentially even professional contracts. But more than that, protecting the ability for these young ladies to have competitive spaces where they can showcase their talents and they can learn the values that anybody who's ever played very competitive sports, which I have, that your work matters. What you do at 5 o'clock in the morning is how you end up winning games, and that when you do lose, if you've lost fairly, there is an enormous amount of benefit in learning how to download what a loss meant, what you did wrong, where you weren't working hard enough, what somebody else was doing better than you. And so we're really, really proud of the effort and the work that our office did in what is a truly landmark decision that, once again, West Virginia was the leader on.
And again, I mean, your office and you specifically, and then your team were out there. When the decision came down, because we were all in the media sitting back waiting on it for, because today's going to be the day. No, today's going to be the day. We just kind of waited, and it immediately put West Virginia in the national spotlight. I think you were on the talk line that day. We had you on as well, but turn on CNN, Fox News, you're all over the place out there, talking about this. It was a case that really put West Virginia in, as you said, JB, in the national spotlight.
Yeah, and I think the fact that it was 9-0, and I predicted that. I predicted it right after the argument, and I sort of got chuckled at by people on Fox News and CNN, and they didn't have any contemplation that it was possible for our team of lawyers to get the 3 more liberal justices to agree with us, and we did. And I think that's really, really important, right? I think, when you look at the way we argued the case, the skill that was used by our team, but I think more importantly, the deft touch, because it's a tricky situation, right? We're dealing with kids here, and there are no villains in this situation. But at some point, you have to stand up and say, this is what the adults need to stand up and say, this is how this needs to go. And I think it was a real testament to the sort of kindness and humility with which the arguments were made, and we were really proud of how we made the argument and enormously proud of the result.
Talking again with Attorney General J.B. McCuskey, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. The July special: buy any regularly priced large 18-inch pizza and get a 2-liter bottle of any Pepsi product for free. Find your nearest Huston's Pizza for delivery, pickup, or dine in at HustonsPizza.com. J.B., what is Tier 4? I was reading a little bit about this. What is Tier 4, and why are you leading a group of other AGs in the fight against whatever T4 is? Or Tier 4, I'm sorry.
I think you're vehicle emission standards and the EPA's proposed rule under both the Obama and Biden administrations, which would have mandated all Americans and West Virginians to buy electric vehicles. And that is something that we have been fighting against viscerally. We believe in consumer choice, and we believe pretty significantly that the consumers of this country were not listened to by the sort of greeno lefties that occupied the EPA and the Energy Department under our former president. And what we have done and what we have fought for is to get these Tier 4 standards to be delayed at the very least and hopefully eliminated in their totality. Because what we've seen since they were created is that, electric vehicles are great, but consumers aren't champing at the bit to buy them. I mean, a lot of our large manufacturers have stopped making them in totality. And so what we need to make sure is that people's cars that they already own, that they want to keep up, older cars, and that going into the future, that the vehicles that so many West Virginians rely on are still available to purchase and available to be fixed. And this is another one of those situations where it's a big national issue, but West Virginia is sort of the leader in protecting not just the consumers here, but everybody.
Let's talk about the lawsuits against Apple. You've been on the show talking about those in the past. Anything new to report there?
Yeah. So we won. Our Apple filed a motion to remove the case to federal court. So we filed the case here in state court. These are state court claims, and we wanted to have West Virginia state court judges hearing it. We would have been happy to be in federal court if we'd lost, but Apple brought in all their, again, big D.C. and New York and L.A. lawyers and the whole group of them, and they came in and our group of lawyers won the day, and we actually got a ruling from the bench, and the case has been remanded back to state court, and it's the first of many victories to get Apple to start playing ball to help us remedy this incredible worldwide problem of child abduction and exploitation. And so what Apple's doing is that they are hosting hundreds of millions of images of child sexual abuse and rape in their cloud, allowing those images to be distributed through their cloud and not helping law enforcement find the animals who are taking these children and abusing them and filming them in their absolute worst moments for their own personal, for their company's profit. And it's all under the guise of what they call being the most secure cloud, but we believe that's a dog whistle to those who would harm children, that's the place where if you're going to have these pictures, you want to store them at Apple. And so we are we're very confident that this is going to be another large-scale national bellwether case where we hold one of our country's largest corporations accountable for harming our children.
Before we let you go, I was doing a little reading about some of your recent activities here. There's a $29.6 million settlement against Glenmark. What or who is Glenmark?
It's we are a piece of a $30 million settlement, and this is, one of these little bits of great work that our consumer division does, and that was a generic drug manufacturer that was violating our consumer laws here in West Virginia, and so if I remember correctly, we will have just over $1 million coming in to West Virginia based on them violating our state laws and the really wonderful lawyers we have in our consumer division doing their jobs really well. And so, that's a good sort of segue. If you are a consumer here in West Virginia and you have been harmed by a business, give us a call. We just finished helping a really nice couple. They redid their kitchen, and none of the appliances worked. They bought brand new appliances that, they did this whole kitchen remodel, and the appliances didn't work. And the company that they bought these appliances from refused to come out and service them. They refused to replace them. In about, 2-3 weeks of work from some good lawyers in my office, they have a whole brand new kitchen, and the warranties were all honored. So, if find yourself in a situation like that, even if it seems like it might be too small, please give us a call and let us give you some help.
West Virginia Attorney General J.B. McCuskey, always a pleasure to have you on the show, sir. Be well, and we'll talk soon.
Dave, talk to you soon, buddy. Thank you.
921, Logan Regional Medical Center celebrating their 100th anniversary with a free concert party and get-together Saturday, August the 8th at Logan Football Stadium. Gates open at 3 in the afternoon there on Middleburg Island. Free, I can't emphasize enough, free music. Ricky Skaggs, Kentucky Thunder will be there. America's Got Talent winner Landau Eugene Murphy Jr., the Davison Brothers Band, Del Nora, Motown Legends, the Voices of Classic Soul featuring members of the Temptations, the Four Tops, the Drifters, Mountain Stage Band, and more. And it's totally free. There'll be food, fireworks, and a whole, just a great day for the entire family, and I'll be serving as the MC. So looking forward to seeing you there. If you need more information, visit Logan Regional Medical Center's Facebook page. Dex says the defense of Real Girls ruling was as it should be. For decades, doctors have said that the brain is not fully developed until the age of 25. So if we, quotation marks here, trust the science like we've been lectured to do so for years now, then no, all caps, no child under 18 is mentally, emotionally, or psychiatrically sound enough to make such a major life decision to choose their gender. Parents need to be held accountable for doing this to them. We're keeping a close eye on the weather. Yeah, we got some severe weather rolling into the area, especially late this afternoon. Some of you saw it a little bit earlier this morning. But for most of us, it's going to be mid to late afternoon. Metro News meteorologist Bryan Hughes is going to join us to talk about it a little bit later on. And we're talking Dirty Birds baseball. Fingers crossed we can play tonight when we come back on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
The Dave Allen Show is presented in part by Generations Ford in Huracan, part of the Eric J. Tarr family of businesses.
At Poca Valley, your savings deserve Simply More. The Simply More Money Market is designed for people who want growth, flexibility, and convenient access to their money when they need it most. Whether you're building your savings or planning for the future, Poca Valley is here to help you make the most of every dollar. Ready to learn more? Visit PocaValleyBank.com, call 844-782-2651, or stop into your nearest Poca Valley branch today. At Poca Valley, relationships matter. Member FDIC.
At Jarrett Construction, they build more than structures. Jarrett Construction builds legacies. Since 1999, from historical restorations to modern design builds, Jarrett Construction has been the cornerstone of excellence in West Virginia. Their expertise spans commercial, educational, hospitality, and healthcare projects. With a commitment to quality and a focus on your vision, they turn your dreams into reality. Jarrett Construction, building your future, preserving your past. Discover more at jarrett-construction.com.
WV030133.
If you've been injured, you deserve a lawyer who knows West Virginia, not just one who advertises here. Tom and Harvey Payton were born and raised right here. For decades, they fought for injury victims across the state, and they know how to win. At the Payton Law Firm, you get strong representation and attorneys who care. Call 755-5556 or visit PaytonLawFirm.com.
The attorneys referenced in this ad are lifelong residents and are licensed to practice law in the state of West Virginia.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah,
Welcome into the show. Welcome back. It is 9:24. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, keeping a close eye, as I said, on the weather. Metro News meteorologist Bryan Hughes going to join us a little bit later on in the show. Guarantee Bank hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Let's talk a little baseball now. Our good friends from the Dirty Birds are here. We got the Toast Man, Rob Blackstone. How you doing, sir?
Going all right. It's a beautiful day for baseball.
Beautiful
right now.
Right now it is a bit Blum with the Dirty Birds. GM's here with us as well. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Morning,
good night.
morning.
Happy New Year. You know, whatever.
All of those.
All the things. All the things. All right. So we can't do, Rod and I were talking about it off the air. We can't do anything about the weather. We'll deal with Bryan Hughes on that a little bit later on. But we can hope for the best as we kick off a special week with the CAMC Vandalia Health all being saluted this week. Lots of things going on all around. It's going to be a great week at the ballpark, Rod.
It's a great time to be there. We've got Vandalia Health Week. It's something we expanded a few years ago from just having a CAMC night when you're a 24/7 operation. Actually, I think Ben was the one who first came up with a plan to say, let's make it into a week and let's just, instead of everybody coming at once, let's try to have people come at any time that they want to. So this year, what we're trying to do is say, we're going to try to say, for instance, tonight, Memorial Hospital. We were over there Friday with the mascot taking pictures. Hey, this is your night. If you all want to come together, come on Tuesday night. And General, come on Thursday. And the Cancer Center, come on Friday for Strikeout Cancer Night. And Women and Children's come on Sunday, or when kids get in free. And then we're doing a Women in Health celebration as part of Women Making a Difference Night tomorrow night. Did you know that 75% of the employees in the Vandalia Health System are women?
I did not know that.
And a pretty high percentage of the leadership team are women, too. So it's pretty amazing. So we're celebrating women in healthcare as part of Women Making a Difference Night, which is also a pretty major celebration that includes Christy Martin coming, and also Marshall's head basketball coach, Jill Folks, who's going to be there to do a panel discussion before the game and to answer some questions.
And this is all tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, Women Making a Difference Night is tomorrow night. So, and it's sponsored by the YWCA because they're also going to have Chrissy Martin go in depth at the YWCA on Thursday night for a more intimate kind of program, one that can talk about domestic violence and what Chrissy Martin's been through and her experience that she now shares.
And she's great because I've interviewed her several times in the past, and she. If you don't know her story, native of Mullins, West Virginia, in Wyoming County, and rose to international fame. Had Don King in her corner and others, as cover of Sports Illustrated. And then what people didn't know, guys, was the struggle she was having behind the scenes with in an abusive situation. Now she has basically, post-boxing, has devoted her life to trying to explain all the different factors that go into domestic violence, because as she explained to me and so many of our listeners know, it's not just physical. There's a whole lot more to it than just that, and I think she does a great job of talking about that, and she's a fantastic ambassador.
And I think she might be coming on with you. Is that right? Is that possible?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
On midday. I think she's going to be on tomorrow. I think is what we're working on there. So, Ben, how are things going so far? Or we'll continue with this week, but I just want to ask you overall, how's the season going so far?
Well, the first half is gone. So we ignore that. We start back at 0-0.
It's a great thing about the way this league works. It's a totally different season.
You get 2 tries. So the second half is going better. PJ's made some great changes. He brought back Isaiah Stejeda, and we've had some injuries, but we've made some changes to the pitching arsenal. And it's been nice. We took 4 games against Southern Maryland, so that's
and they're going
good.
To the playoffs.
They were number one in the first half. So I'm excited to see what the next couple of weeks bring as we make our run. But it's definitely good to see the guys hitting lots of home runs, and it's just tons of fun to watch the way that PJ puts together a team, because he focuses heavy on people that can hit the ball very well, and when they do, it's really exciting.
All right, Rod, what else we got going on this week?
Well, we have $2 Tuesday is tonight also, and it's Dollar Beer Night on Thursday. Friday is Bark in the Park. Is that what we're still calling it?
We are.
Okay. And Saturday is Christmas in July. Saturday, Vandalia Health is sponsoring the fireworks show after the game as a way to sort of celebrate the entire system and kind of their rebranding as they move more and more toward being associated with Vandalia Health. It is the number one healthcare. They're the number one healthcare provider here in the southern part of the state, and now with almost a statewide reach. So they'll be sponsoring the fireworks. Sunday is kids get in free anyway, so we're also emphasizing it's also Dusty's birthday and Andrew Shea's birthday on Sunday, and I think there's a special promotion for kids that are 8 and under that families get in free.
Yep. So it's the 8th year that Andy's done this with his son Andrew Shea, and if you have an 8-year-old or under, there's a special link on our Facebook to go get free tickets for the whole family to come and join the celebration. So not only do we have that on Sunday, but we have Santa Claus coming on 7/25, which is Christmas in July. He's going to come visit, throw a first pitch, and walk around the concourse and give away some goodies to the kiddos.
One of the other things about tomorrow night is that we are honoring about 25 to 30 women. We've asked for nominations. It's called Women Making a Difference Night because it celebrates all the different ways that women make a difference in the lives of our community, in the lives of our people. And so we've asked people to nominate women who make a difference, often unheralded women who make a difference. So we're going to be lining the All-Star team up on the line before the game tomorrow night, having been able to receive all these nominations from people and being able to celebrate all the different ways that women make a difference in our communities and beyond, really. So it's a great celebration. It is the third of the sort of special outreach programs that we do, identifying and reaching out to largely underrepresented segments of the population, underrepresented at the ballpark, that is. The Pride Night, the Baseball for Us African American Heritage Night, and then Women Making a Difference Night, as we do some outreach and say, you are welcome here.
Talk about some of I don't know, are you at liberty to discuss who the women are or their backgrounds or anything at this point? I don't want to give away too much, but can you tell me where because you said you took nominations, so can you tell us anything more?
I should have brought the list with me. No, I'll give one example. It's a professor at West Virginia State University who's worked with one of our season ticket holders. And in his fledgling broadcast career, for instance, there's also somebody who has taken in who's worked with children all her life and has taken in a whole lot of foster children. to be able to say, hey, we're going to at least give you a good place and a good house to live in. So those are two that immediately come to mind that I know of. But it's a whole lot of, it's across the board. People who are professionals, people who you've heard of, but some you haven't, that are just going to be honored as people who make a difference in the life of our
people that
community.
you haven't heard from, and many times their stories are even more remarkable because they're not doing it for their name in the paper or on the radio or whatever.
That's exactly right. And so that's why it's to be mostly unheralded women but there are some names you'll recognize on there, and I think we're going to honor a few extra too that have been involved in Women Making a Difference Night for the last 4 years too.
Talk about the importance of activities, Rod, as it pertains to the Dirty Birds. Why is it so important that you guys do? Because, I mean, it's all about the baseball. We know that. But the Dirty Birds do a lot more than just the baseball game. Well,
and especially whenever you don't have a winning team, you want it to be about more than just the baseball.
But we're going to turn that around, though, right, Ben? We're going to turn that around.
We are going to turn that around. But this is something I learned a long time ago. I think the first time I was working for the team back in 1996 when I was doing that for a year and a half. And the research says that, and that was an affiliated ball where you have no control over the quality of your baseball players. And the goal is to be able to attract people to come and have them leave having a good time regardless of the score. So it's about the baseball experience more than it's just about the game. Yeah. So the purists will say, it's all about the baseball. And that's why the purists probably don't like me very much. But it's also about the experience. And what do you experience too? Fair?
Well said.
Oh, okay.
Baseball is just one of those rare sports, though, that you're right, guys. It is about the experience when you go to a ballpark. If you talk to anybody, whether they go to Go-Mart Ballpark or they go to Yankee Stadium, it doesn't matter. If you ask them, how was the game, I've noticed that a lot of times they won't say, well, we lost 6-2. They'll throw that in there somewhere, but they'll say, man, these hot dogs were great. Man, the parking situation, man, the team store there on the site was great. I mean, that's kind of like what they talk about there.
What's the lasting impression we're going to make?
Right.
And is it if it's a score of the game? Yeah, sometimes that happens when we have a walk-off grand slam or something like that. Mm-hmm. But it's much more than that, and that's what Ben does for a living, is to make sure that the experience goes well for people.
The goal is fun.
Yeah.
As long as we're here to have fun and we're enjoying ourselves, I think we're doing the right thing.
All right. Go over the schedule with us once again there, Rod, if you don't care.
Okay. Every night, scheduled for 6:35, and tonight, $2 Tuesday. It's also Vandalia Health Week. We're celebrating Memorial Hospital employees in the cardiopulmonary program over there. Women Making a Difference Night. Program really starting between 5:30 and 5:45 with Christy Martin and Coach Folks. And then the Women Making a Difference Night all stars right before the game at 6:30. Thursday, Dollar Beer Night. It's also celebrating General Hospital employees in the Neuroscience Center that's going to become our neighbor over there. CMC Foundation, Strike Out Cancer. If you're a cancer survivor, come. We've got some T-shirts that we've made that are special for cancer survivors that were designed by a patient at Women and Children's Hospital, in fact, too. And then Saturday, fireworks with Christmas in July, Vandalia Health System celebration, Women and Children's Hospital, kids get in free on Sunday, with the big birthday party for Dusty and Andrew Shea. What am I missing?
All the wins that we're going to have.
Oh, yeah.
All the wins.
We're hoping to have at least take 4 out of 6 from Gastonia. Gastonia was one of the better teams in the first half.
Yeah.
They've been struggling, so they're behind us right now. But it'll be a good test to see how we're really doing here in the second half.
The Ghost Peppers.
The ghost pepper. And I got in the mail yesterday some ghost pepper candy. So if somebody strikes out, it's kind of hot. So I'm not sure if I should just pass it out to kids like I do with
probably
the York
not. You can save it for me. I love ghost pepper stuff.
The ghost pepper candies. Have you ever?
I've never had one. No.
Okay. So usually,
next time you come back, bring me some.
When somebody strikes out 3 times for the other team, we call them by some other name. Like the York team, we call Mr. York Peppermint Patty, or the Krabby Patties, or Southern Maryland, or the Lexington Lemon Heads.
Yeah.
And then we pass out different little snacks. So these are a little hotter.
Okay.
But they just came in the mail yesterday, so I'm armed and dangerous.
You say, where does one get ghost pepper candy?
Some big distribution company in the sky.
I got it. All right, Rod Blackstone and Ben Blum, appreciate you both being here. Thanks a lot. And we'll keep a close eye on the weather. I got Hughes coming up in our next segment here on the weather. You know, you can shake him up a little bit if you want to say we need to try to get this game in. And because a lot of people are going to be concerned about it, you normally don't make the decision until like 5 o'clock or so, something like that.
Well, I have a long-standing, I don't look at the weather until 5 o'clock.
Okay.
I get asked quite a bit during the day. What are we doing for tonight? What's the weather look like tonight? And
so
I always say the same thing.
No decision till 5 o'clock.
I'll listen to what the fine man has to say. But
he is pretty good at predicting it. I will tell you that from personal experience.
I will say that there is quite a bit of times that it looks at 5 o'clock like we're going to be wet at 6:30, and then at 6 o'clock we're no longer going to be wet, and we're playing baseball at 6:30.
Last homestand, prime example.
I don't want to rehash it 18 times with the players or the managers. So, I say 5 o'clock. I'll take a look, and if it looks like we're going to get a little moist, the answer is we will play baseball. It just depends on what.
Yeah, I mean, under the current setup with the turf and everything, your concern would be high winds and lightning, not so much rain, right?
Yeah, I mean, even the rain isn't as much of a factor as it used to be,
right?
Just because of the surface, but. The players will play as long as they feel safe, and the umpires keep them out there quite a bit. So, I think that the one thing I try not to do is start a baseball game in the rain.
Yeah.
But if we have a window to start the game, we're going to, and we will. Right. But, I think it's definitely a step in the right direction for Charleston having the turf. That investment has paid for itself in dividends, I hope. And, it's made it so that we can rely on baseball in Charleston instead of hoping to look at the weather at 5 o'clock and see a window.
Well, and the good thing is that again, we're keeping a close eye on this evening. I know you're not till 5 o'clock, but after this, Bryan says we got some absolutely fantastic weather. Temperatures one day are going to be in the upper 70s, pretty much all the way through the weekend. So that is good news for the Dirty Birds homestand against the Ghost Peppers of Gaston.
The turf also means that the general manager and the oldest guy on the staff don't have to be on the tarp crew.
Yeah. Nothing like a good tarp.
I only pulled tarp once, and it was in Savannah.
Wow. Yeah.
One time. Never again.
That's why you got Silverman. Make him do that.
That's right.
All right, guys. Appreciate you being here. All right. It is 21 minutes now before 10 o'clock. We'll take a break, come back after this with meteorologist Bryan Hughes on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you looking for a technical job in the medical field? Generations is growing and looking to add on job-trained physical therapy techs to our rehab team. To apply, visit one of our 7 convenient locations or simply click on us at generationspt.com.
Hey, this is Bobby Spry, and last year we purchased a new HVAC system from West Virginia Heating and Cooling. During the inspection of our old unit, their technician discovered a crack in the heat exchanger that was slowly leaking carbon monoxide into our home. From that moment on, we knew we chose the best technicians and the best service. Every technician is drug tested and background checked, giving our family peace of mind. When it comes to protecting your home and family, trust the best. West Virginia Heating and Cooling.
The savings are on all summer long at Walker Chevrolet in Nitro. Listen, if you're planning on dragging that old worn-out ride up and down the turnpike one more time, just don't. This is the time to upgrade and make that next trip in comfort and style. This summer, Gene and Ryan have loaded down the lot with inventory, both new and used, and that means they're sure to have the perfect vehicle for you no matter what your summer adventures have in store. And you know you're going to get the best deal possible at Walker because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals. So don't push that old vehicle beyond its limits for another summer, or worse, have to call that brother-in-law you hate to come pick up your family in Beckley because that car couldn't make it back from Myrtle Beach. The new car, truck, or SUV you've been dreaming of is waiting on you now at Walker Chevrolet. In the shadow of the Interstate Bridge, just off the Nitro exit of I-64. Walker Chevrolet, making friends one deal at a time.
Charleston, there's a new bank in town, but it's built on something timeless. Relationships. Guarantee Bank is now open on the Boulevard, bringing community banking back to the Canal Valley. We're local decision makers, real people, and a team that understands West Virginia business. Whether you're growing your company, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Stop by our new Charleston branch at 1320 Canal Boulevard and experience banking the way it should be. Guarantee Bank, where community comes first.
19 away from 10. Sounds of the Amos Steel Band there. If you had a band for your upcoming events, you got a family reunion, or you're getting a class reunion, or you got a bar, tavern, motorcycle rally, Senior Olympics, whatever. Those guys are your guys right there. Amos Steel Band. Look them up on Facebook. Invite you to join me every Friday morning, 9:06 for the Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association. Brought to you by the fine folks at Almost Heaven Interiors, family owned, proudly serving the community for over 50 years, specializing in custom blinds, shades, shutters, upholstery, and beautifully crafted sewn goods. Homes to hospitals, classrooms to commercial spaces. They can do it all, located at 516 D Street in South Charleston. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaler, text 304-935-5008. Everybody talking about the weather and the guy who knows it all, and I mean that in a good way. Metro News meteorologist Bryan Hughes joins us now at the JR Construction Studios. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Well, it's good to be here. Just getting some new data in from the Storm Prediction Center, and everything's lining up exactly what I was looking at over the last couple of hours. Is that we may move the timetable up just a touch by an hour or two. Probably an hour for sure, maybe 2 hours, but it's going to be a volatile afternoon. And the tornado threat they have expanded that across deeper into West Virginia for this afternoon and this evening.
Now, you had said when we interviewed you yesterday, you said that if we got showers and thunderstorms overnight, let's think 6-7 hours or so ago, that it may decrease the severity of what we would see. I know some areas did get some rain. I think I saw where Jackson County got some. I think the Roane County area got some, but we didn't get any that I saw or by my wet pavement this morning, the Charleston area, right?
We had some of the showers and storms that were actually, we've got some out there right now. Okay. Matter of fact, we've got some that are about back down across parts of Lincoln County, southern Lincoln County, working their way to the northeast. Matter of fact, actually, let me just put the radar into motion here real quick. Moving on to the east, northeast. So, excuse me, got to go into the Madison area, and also Danville. We've got a couple of showers there. So, we've got a couple of these showers that we're just going to have sporadically pop up here or there. But it's going to be the line of storms that moves in this afternoon. And that's going to be closer, that'll be somewhere between 4 and 5 o'clock, most likely in Charleston now. It could be as early as 3, but probably about around 4 or 5 is going to be the best time for that. And the tornado threat has increased across the area. I've talked about this on Steve and Jenny this morning. The significant tornado parameter, STP, is produced by by various forecast models now. It was a product exclusively at the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma, but they've been able to put it into forecast models now. We're able to see that we're the anomaly of what we're dealing with today is significantly high, not just for West Virginia in general, but for this time of year specifically. We're looking at normally you would see that at maybe get to 1. Maybe 2. And that would be a typical springtime extreme event. We're seeing it anywhere from 2 to 3.5 to 3.8. And that is significant across parts of our region.
Yeah. Again, we're talking with meteorologist Bryan Hughes. And so we were talking to the guys from the Dirty Birds earlier. We're very hopeful that they'll be able to get that game in tonight. But if it were to be postponed, don't want to put any negative juju out there, Brian, but if it were to be postponed, it would probably be because of the lightning, right? Yeah, it would be lightning because right now, I mean, I'm just looking up around Columbus right now. It's significant lightning show that's happening there right now. The one thing that we are looking at as we go into this afternoon, into this evening, will be significant amounts of lightning. You've just got dew points that are incredibly high. You've got a tropical atmosphere that's sitting on top of us. And then when you add the upper level components that are all coming together, it means we're going to have a significant amount of lightning because we're in the middle of July. Anytime you get a thunderstorm popping up, it's going to have a lot of lightning. But you add the cold front into the mix here, everything else, it's going to be a humdinger of a day for lightning and thunder across the region. So a lot of power outages. Yeah, and we haven't even mentioned the flooding because if these storms, as we call it, training, get over one area for any significant amount of time, we could be seeing some flooding issues in many areas. Yeah, we are. Matter of fact, one thing I am concerned about, here we are, we're almost 10 a.m. You've got, let's see, that'd be, I'm looking at the radar here specifically. There's 10, there would be 11, 12, 1. Probably in the north central parts of West Virginia. Now, mind you, we're here on the air locally, but north central West Virginia is going to have a better flooding opportunity back into the Panhandle and Pittsburgh, Morgantown area because of the storms that'll be passing by first. But then you get the line later on, and you've got that's going to happen. That's going to move through here 3, 4 o'clock.
at 3, 4, 5 o'clock, somewhere in that time frame. Then you get another line that's going to happen behind that. That's just going to aggravate any sort of flash flooding that we might have already had coming by the area. So the hierarchy of what's the most important here today is that it's going to be damaging wind will be the primary threat. Secondary threat is going to be the tornado threat as we go into the afternoon and early evening hours. Then after that, you've got obviously the lightning, thunder, significant. Hail is actually very low today. If we do get hail, let me tell you something. It'll be one of the strongest storms we've had in a long time.
It'll be a hail of a hailstorm.
It'll be a hail of a hailstorm. That is for sure. No doubt about it.
If we get it, but you say we probably won't.
Yeah, the hail threat is very low today. But then we've also got to look at what's happening as we go into tonight, and that's when the flooding risk continues to increase going into this evening and tonight. So damaging wind gusts, downburst style wind, which will do significant damage. Matter of fact, a lot of folks will think the tornado hit. It's going to be straight line sort of wind damage, flattening.
So it'll be wind and not necessarily tornado. A lot of people will think that. I know.
Correct.
And if you got stuff outside, I mean, I left the house this morning. My wife was already out there taking down plants and flags and things of that nature, this morning.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've just got to be prepared for what's going to happen later on today. The one thing I've said is that, a number of folks here in the building have been like, when do I need to go home? And I'm like, I'd say you start playing hooky about 3, 4 o'clock today, just to get out ahead of the storm, before it gets in here. And that way you're prepped and ready at home. I'd rather have everybody at home prepped with their kids, the pets, the whole 9 yards and safe than, trying to make the almighty dollar the last thing that they do.
Now, you know what you just did, though.
I know. I know what I just did.
There's some people out here right now that go, wait a minute, you said that I should go home. It's like an early dismissal in January. But
take it. Take this one and run with it. It's the only time you're going to get this summer.
I mean, we all remember a couple of years ago, the big storm that rolled through here. What was it, 2020? What did we have the tornado in Charleston during the morning? 2022?
That was, let's see, this is 26. 524. It was 24, wasn't it?
It was a couple of years ago because I remember
24. I think it's 2024.
Okay, I remember being in the building when that hit, and that was kind of interesting being in downtown Charleston when something like that hits. And the reason I say this is because we talk about severe weather all the time, but it's not every day that all the weather models come together and you say we got some concerns for today, unlike what we've seen in the past. Is that a fair statement?
Yes,
or in the recent past, I should say.
Yeah, matter of fact, actually, I can probably tell you the exact date that we had that. Because I remember I was on the air doing all that, but that was 20. I think it was 2024.
All right. While he does that, I'll remind you that the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. When environmental questions come up at a building, Pinnacle provides clear answers. They specialize in asbestos, lead, mold, and indoor air quality issues. Accredited lab services based in West Virginia. Learn more at pinnaclecorp.net, helping you understand your environment, because what you don't know can hurt you.
It was 2024.
I thought it was 2022. Okay. I'll go with you. You're the one looking it up. All right. One of the things I want to kind of address here with you and other weather professionals, no matter where they may be right now, and that is these graphics that you see constantly on social media. It's like the bane of existence of serious weather forecasters, no matter whether it's you or one of the TV stations or National Weather Service or whatever, because I keep seeing this map floating out there that says derecho. And we all remember the derecho of 2012, where how that all played out. This is not that kind of situation, though.
No, because back then when we had the derecho that moved through, we were looking at the temperature was 100 plus degrees. Our heat index values were absurd. We had all the juice that we have today, but you need those extreme temperatures, because then the storm system, which is hundreds of miles in length and is doing wind damage that is 70 to 100 mile per hour wind gusts that are all numerous spots along the line. You've got to have something like that that is significant. Now, we've had derechos since then. We've had a couple of them pass by, a couple of them small. We've had a couple of other ones that have just been barely meeting the criteria, but nothing obviously like that one, where 75% of the state was without power.
It's one of those terms that folks throw out there, like blizzard. For example, a 8-inch snowfall is not necessarily a blizzard.
No.
Because blizzard is about the wind. It's
yes.
not about the snow.
Right. And that's the same thing that we look at with this, is that it's not about the actual wind gusts that you might have in this one location. It's about the wind across the entire line. Yeah. So you have thresholds that you have to meet. But I can tell you this, anytime we talk about wind and wind being the primary threat and they see a line of storms, they automatically go to the derecho, comparison. We can't compare everything to the derecho that we had, because that was, as we talked about in the break, it is a once in a lifetime style event. Could it happen again? Yeah, probably can. It will. But, the fact that we're going to take almost the entire state and knock it out of power, stuff like that, it takes an act of Congress. And what's happening right now across Ohio with those storms ramping up and moving off to the east, that would preclude us from having a derecho today, because it's taking the atmosphere and it's cutting the juice off right now. If we had clear skies across all of Ohio, man, you could have a hell of a day as far as thunderstorms are concerned today. But we have a lot of clouds, and those clouds out there the clouds are going to be the catalyst in all of this today. How thick are they? Where do we get the sunshine? Where does the destabilization of the atmosphere occur? And and what other things are happening in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere?
We don't want sunshine.
No, we don't. But
no sunshine.
We don't, but
no sunshine when she's gone.
That is correct. But when I look at the satellite imagery, I look in southern Ohio, I look at Cincinnati, Maysville, Kentucky. I look back at there, Jackson, Kentucky. You go up to even to the Point Pleasant area, we've got a little sunshine breaking through. So as we look at that, matter of fact, I'm going to turn some of this stuff off here, some of this data that I've got, and look at what's all happening here. And yeah, you've got some of these little showers developing. This line is from just near Paintsville all the way back up to Madison, and a couple little showers are starting to pop off just off to the north and east of Charleston. That little line is going to move through, but we've got the sunshine that's trying to break out in southern Ohio, and that's going to be what helps fuel the fire for the thunderstorms this afternoon.
Quickly, give us the basic timeline, and I do want to say, keep listening throughout the day to all of our stations. Download the Metro News television app. You'll have information on there, on social media as well. Reputable social media that we're talking about here. All right. So give us the timeline as it stands right now. It's subject to change. Right.
As of now, I'm going to say that in the Kanawha Valley, we need to be watching it at about 2 to 3 o'clock. Watch the storms that are moving in from the north. And by about 4 o'clock to 6, between 4 and 6, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, evening, that's when the storms are going to be at their strongest, at their peak across the Kanawha Valley. That is as of now. If things do change, listen, I'm going to be on here at top of the hour. We're going to talk on Talk Line. I'll be on with you today at midday. You and Amanda will talk about the showers and storms that are going to be possible across the area and the severe threats that are going to be happening all across the region. Because at that point, as we get in the afternoon, things are going to start firing up, getting us a better idea of when it'll be here.
Quick text, someone said, how long would it take today for creeks to rise since they shot up pretty fast the other day? 30 seconds.
It is going to be quick. It's not going to take a lot. Matter of fact, rain totals on average across the area are going to be over an inch. So listen, it's one of those things. Once the first storm comes through, if the creek doesn't come up, the second storm, the creek's coming up.
All right. We're going to leave it there. Metro News meteorologist Bryan Hughes back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses care for your family.
When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm for the people.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
What if the market drops after you retire? What if healthcare costs continue to rise? What if you outlive your savings? If these questions keep you up at night, you're not alone. And you don't have to figure it out alone. I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I specialize in retirement income planning. Let's turn your what-ifs into a plan you can count on. Schedule your free consultation today at 4thavenuefinancial.com. 4th Avenue Financial, retirement done right.
Securities offered through Jenny McCole Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Jenny McCole Advisors Incorporated.
Summer has arrived, but high school football season is coming soon to Metro News TV. Get the latest previews with Joe Bricato's Summer Tour, plus your favorite daily shows and State of Mind. Download the app on your smart TV or streaming device and get more information at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Metro News Television, is powered by Dan Cava Toyota, the WVHTC Foundation, and WVU Medicine.
You may think speeding a little isn't really speeding, but even a few miles over the limit has consequences. First, there's the fine. Your first offense could cost you $100 plus court costs, and you'll pay a lot more if it's your second or third offense. Eventually, you can lose your license or even go to jail. And those are minor consequences. Speeding causes 10,000 deaths each year. So next time you think a few miles over isn't a big deal, think again. This message is brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
The latest in news, talk, and sports on 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Visit jarrett-construction.com for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
Welcome back to the show. Again, 3 minutes in front of 10 o'clock on this, what's going to be a stormy Tuesday, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Line, brought to you by the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane. Visit generationsford.com. Quickly, some news out of the John Lucas case. Attorneys for Alyssa Middleton have filed 2 motions in her case. Her trial is set to start August the 17th. Now, her attorneys are asking for, one, a delay in the trial, and they're asking for a change of venue and to seal the venue if it is changed. Now, it goes before Judge Hardy, and as of now, he hasn't ruled on it. A pretrial hearing is set for the 28th of this month. Alyssa Middleton charged with voluntary manslaughter, aggravated vehicular homicide, and fleeing the scene of an accident causing death. All those are felonies, of course. She and her partner that night were both fired from their jobs when Lance Wheeler took over the authority on July 1st. Alyssa Middleton is out on bond. Partner was not charged in the case. And I'll say this, no surprise for me that the attorney here, at least one of them, Tim Carrico, asking for a change of venue and to keep where the trial will be held if it is moved a secret. We will have more available. We actually have more available now at WCHSnetwork.com. Busy city council meeting last night in Charleston. You can read all about it, WCHSnetwork.com. $4.35 million in renovations for the Charleston Fire Department. Some other talk about a memorandum of understanding between the city and the Division of Highways and some other folks about some lighting. You see where my mind is. Lighting projects within the business district and some residential areas as well. And as I said, there's a whole lot of news that came out of that meeting. You can read all about it at WCHSnetwork.com. And quickly, the lead story other than the weather today, tragedy out of Cabell County where several people were stabbed and are dead in Cabell County. Jeff Jenkins working on that story. We have information about it posted at WVMetroNews.com. Later today, Metro News Midday, 13 News, and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and me, powered by Salango Law. Of course, the weather is a big story. Bryan Hughes will join us to talk about that. You heard about flock cameras. What does the State Libertarian Party think about it? Taylor Richmond will join us on that. Coming up on this show tomorrow, Terry Sayer, author on the new book Snowstorm, about drug activities in the Kanawha Valley in the 70s and 80s. Trisha Robley from the Charleston Distance Run is here, and Bell Mayor Melody Vickers. TJ, what you got?
Coming up, Bryan Hughes, latest on the weather. Jared Halpern, live from the White House, latest on Iran. We'll also talk with Brad McElhenney. 8:30 has come and gone. The Justice Family Group had to have something into the judge by 8:30 on the Greenbrier. We'll find out what coming up.
All right. I'll see you later today on Metro News Midday. Don't forget to follow Bryan Hughes for the latest on the weather. We'll see you later. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston, 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.